Hey, it's Jamie Lane here. I'm hosting a special episode of Good Morning Hospitality where I interview Airbnb's Chief Business Officer, Dave Stephenson. In this interview, we dive into Airbnb's summer release that just happened here in San Francisco, which I attended live. In that summer release, Brian Chesky up on stage, he announced some expansion and update on their services platform. So they're now in groceries with a partnership with Instacart, airport pickups with Welcome Pickups, and luggage storage with Bounce, as well as now offering rental cars. He also updated on experiences where they're doubling down on landmarks and food culture experiences. And then for all of our hosts and property managers out there, he did get into updates on new features for their homes product. I asked Dave about them, and we go through a lot of the different new features. One that I didn't ask, but I'm really excited to test and see how it works, is their new feature called Smart Setup. You put in an address, and that's it, and it creates the entire listing for you from photos, descriptions, all your amenities, etc. So what could go wrong with that? And then hotels. Airbnb is now expanding their pilots that they had done in a few markets on hotels, really doubling down on independent and boutique properties, and have quietly launched maybe one of the best loyalty programs, even though it's not a loyalty program, with 15% rewards for use on future homestays on Airbnb when you book a hotel. And this could really potentially be a great flywheel to drive growth in their homes business, given that they're seeing 55% of guests that book a hotel then go on to book a home. So hope you enjoy this interview with Dave Stephenson. So Dave, thank you for joining we're doing two podcasts, STR Data Lab and Skift Good Morning Hospitality.
Thanks.
So we're at the 2026 Airbnb summer release. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
It was. I'm super excited. Yeah.
So I'm a host. I've got a property in North Georgia. So I like to take the view of what do these releases mean to me? Because and as exciting as services and experiences are, like they're not going to impact the core host in any maybe meaningful way. But it wasn't explicit, and Brian wasn't explicitly about it, but it felt like there was a lot of AI announced today, whether it's AI reviews, the sort of listing overviews, the listing comparison. So can you talk a little bit about how AI is sort of working its way into the Airbnb platform and what you really expect from it?
Yeah. Well, what I'm excited about is that we're using AI to just make the service better. And that we're not using AI to get you more attached to your phone, but we're using AI to make overall experience coming to Airbnb, make it a better trip. And, there are some things that are really amazing and unique about Airbnb. And so every home is unique. Yeah. And we have millions of them all around the world. We have tens of millions of customers, and you have to kind of match those up. And it's hard. I love the stat today. We have 1 billion reviews.
Yeah.
How do you sort through 1 billion reviews and actually kind of find the nuances, the subtleties, the specifics that help you make a great decision? AI is a perfect use case for that. Or a comparison. We've not had a great comparison tool, and you can do a basic one, but now with AI, we actually can do a really powerful comparison tool. Yeah. And again, I think that's a unique capability that benefits Airbnb because we have so many unique homes. How can you use AI for that? So I just love that we're using the technology to make the service overall better.
Yeah. And something that I thought was unique, because we've seen in different companies, whether it's Amazon and the like, do AI overviews from reviews. And it seems pretty generic of you get a summary, it sort of goes through all the reviews and gives you sort of a tidbit. But it feels like you guys took a different approach of like there's different aspects of the listing, whether it's in the hot tub, the location, the view, what have you, and organized all these sort of pre-selected things that are very specific to the listing. And you click on it and it actually takes you, it doesn't do the summary, takes you to the review and highlights like what the guest actually calls out. Like, do you have it? Like, can you explain like what from the testing, what from talking with guests, what sort of led you guys to do it sort of that different way?
Yeah, I'm glad that you noticed it. I mean, what's really unique is that you think about it, if you're buying a product on Amazon, there are only so many dimensions to that product.
Yeah.
And yet a listing or an experience or other things has so many more dimensions. I think that's what we found is that some people, if you're a family, you're going to care about, I don't know, the pool. Or if you're an individual, maybe you're going to care about, I don't know, the kitchen or whatever. And so every person is unique. And I think you could see over time how, as we know more and more about the traveler, we can actually even do more of that in an automated way too. So that that somebody, all right, this person really cares about the design aesthetic. And so we're going to surface up the elements to that. So this is just the very first beginning of what I think can be even more powerful over time.
Yeah, it's almost like now every potential guest gets a customized listing page, specifically what they need. Like, is that the idea that, no matter who comes in, and you're going to know some about them from their guest profile, from their past trips, and essentially customize everyone's listing to what's going to convert for that guest?
Yeah, that's exactly right. As we know more and more about the guests, we can personalize the entire experience much more. If we know, that a guest wants even a particular kind of service, we can feature up that kind of service earlier, or maybe a particular kind of experience. Maybe we know somebody always likes going to food tours and kind of food experiences, and so we can do that. So just the more and more we know about the guest, we can now use AI just to personalize it. And every time you open the app, it will be a more personalized experience.
Okay. So hotels.
Yeah.
It was a big part of the release. And I think, and Brian sort of teased it up on stage that maybe hotels are a better experience or a better product for certain types of trips, which 9 out of 10 trips happening in a hotel, like they've got to be doing something right. But what I want to talk about was, and Airbnb famously doesn't have a loyalty program yet. And a 15% back on a hotel stay towards your next Airbnb stay, 55% of hotel guests going and using a home. Like, it feels like you guys are creating a loyalty flywheel that could be pretty big in the travel space. Can you tell some about like what you expect to come from this launch of hotels?
Well, I think you said it exactly right. I mean, there are too many trips where somebody might come to Airbnb and not find something for them. There are too many times that somebody has to go elsewhere if they really want to find a hotel. And one of the things that we can do is provide a hotel that actually feels like an Airbnb. And now that we can also add things like experience and services to it, we actually have an entire trip that you can kind of plan around that. And we want to have people to be able to stay with us and not have to go elsewhere. And when we then have somebody stay in Airbnb, get this credit, and they come back and buy a home, that's powerful to our hosts too. Because I think there are, again, too many reasons why people are going elsewhere, and we want to keep them as a customer of Airbnb. And so I think that'll help the host community, that will help our guests continue to kind of keep coming back to Airbnb first. So I'm super excited about it. I think this just benefits the entire Airbnb platform, all of our guests and our hosts.
Yeah, so there are a lot of hotel owners, operators that listen to the show. And what would your pitch be to them on why they should be on Airbnb as a distribution channel?
Yeah, it gives them access to our tens of millions of customers that may not otherwise think about a particular hotel. And when we can incent them to kind of see what is unique and different about their property, we're going to feature them really well. Like, I think that's one of the things that we talked about today is that we're going to care about how we show up at the hotel. It's not just generic inventory. We can talk about what's special for that property, why that property is special. I mean, hotel owners, they've put a lot of care and attention to the location, to the design, to the way in which they show up. And we want to represent that to that. So we want to be their partners. We want to help them be successful in bringing new demand. So, we're a demand channel. We're going to care a lot about how they show up and just do it in a really positive way.
Yeah. So now homes, hotels, cars, groceries, experiences, services, and is Airbnb becoming like the ultimate OTA? Do you guys consider yourself an OTA? And how do you ultimately see yourselves differentiated in the sort of travel booking space?
Yeah, we consider ourselves the ability to just make magical trips.
Mhm.
And that it's really the combination of all these unique capabilities. So sometimes that might be something basic like airport transfer, but it can surround an amazing stay in a home or a hotel with these experiences. You bundle all those together and you just get an amazing immersive experience. What for us, it's not a bunch of commoditized inventory. It's that when people travel on Airbnb, they travel to a place to experience a different culture, a different sense of the place that they're traveling to. They're spending more time with their friends, their family. That entire experience should feel different if they come to Airbnb. That's what we're looking for. And I think that's what we're really providing.
Okay. So you guys launched services last year, did a relaunch of experiences. I know you were focusing on specific markets going after, and today you launched a lot more markets. So can you talk a little about what you've learned over this past year and launching what's working, what's not working, and what is the go forward look like based on what you've learned this last year?
Well, we've learned a lot. I mean, what was super exciting about the launch last year is that we really moved from being all about stays into experience and services. We rebuilt the platform from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave us a platform capability that now we've grown beyond. So now we've gone further, broader into different types of services, including partner services. We've never really partnered with others before, but now with Instacart and Welcome Pickups and Bounce, we now actually have partners that are kind of helping us, power that. We've never done that before. And then we are expanding into even more kinds of experiences. And some are, more, I don't know, say more standard, but things like the landmarks, everyone wants to see, if it's the first time going to London, you want to see the Tower of London. But if we know that we can show you the right unique way of seeing it with maybe a special expert with incredibly high quality experience, that is important to us. And so I just love how we've doubled down on the areas that are really working. A lot of landmarks are working, a lot of the food is working, and on things that just make the trip easier. We combine those together, and I think we're just seeing, the power of the Airbnb platform.
Yeah. So I think how Brian explained it last year was that there's the things you do on your first trip, and then there's things you do on your second and third trip. And you guys were really focusing in on the second and third trips of like where you go deeper into a destination. So is this the realization that you want to be there for that first trip? Because a lot of people, you only go on that first trip to a destination.
Yeah, that's a great articulation. I think the other way to put it is that you know that you can get the most unique, differentiated, amazing quality of an experience with us. But then you can get some more foundational things, but they're going to be very high quality too. So, it's kind of like you get the really high end type of things that you can kind of, that you're known and differentiated for, but then also know that you can get a more basic thing too.
Yeah. So we've got the World Cup coming this summer. And in the World Cup, there's so much expectations coming to this year. How do you feel like the lead up has played out compared to your expectations?
We're super happy with where we're at with the World Cup. I mean, the World Cup's going to be bigger than the sum of both the Summer Olympics in Paris and the Winter Olympics in Italy. I mean, it's like, it is so large for us. We're in 16 cities. We've added 100,000 listings in those cities. We have dozens of really unique experiences in the cities that you can kind of only do through Airbnb. And we're seeing great demand for our properties. And a big part of why I think we're doing that is we have a lot of people traveling with friends and family in groups, and they're seeing great value in what's available. In fact, and we still have a lot of great availability. 77% of the homes that are still available on Airbnb are less than $500. And when you have 2, 3, 4 people staying in the place, the cost per person is actually really reasonable. So we're seeing great excitement for the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. So are there any markets where you wish you had more inventory that demand's just been outsized? Yeah.
Always a little one. But no, I mean, I think that we're just seeing just strong demand across the board. I think what's going to be unique is last minute bookings depending on who's in which games. And I think there's the other thing is like, because you have such passion for certain teams in certain places, then it's going to, especially the later games, you're going to see kind of different demand coming in late.
Yeah. Any predictions on who's going to win?
I don't know. I don't put me on the spot there.
There's been journalists from around the world here at the event. It's been really exciting to see their passion for the World Cup and everything associated with it.
Do you have a team?
And I went to see the friendlies in Atlanta. I'm based out of Atlanta and saw Belgium and Portugal against the U.S. and where I was excited about the U.S.'s chances, maybe not so much anymore, but
I always want to root for the U.S., but we're not necessarily the football powerhouse, so we'll see.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, this has been a pleasure. Congrats again on the release. And
super exciting. I can't wait to see what we continue to grow and expand into in the future. So thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.